there, today we're going to be talking about how to solve two linear simultaneous equations. By linear, we mean that there's just x and y values, there's not like x squared or anything like that. This is a fairly common question at GCSE, and once you get to know the method of it, it can become really easy and almost therapeutic if you're like me and enjoy these questions. So follow my steps and you should be able to do these questions, no bother. So the first step is always number your equations, 1 and 2, so that you know which one you're talking about at any given point. So with these ones, you're trying to either get rid of the x's or get rid of the y's in order to have an equation with just x or y in it so that you can solve it, because if there's two unknowns, you can't solve it straight away. So what we look at is we see if there's any easy common multiples between either the y values or the x values. Obviously here you can say that there's an x and a 3x, so x times 3 would give you 3x. So what we do here then is our common multiple is going to be 3x, so we don't need to change equation 1, so we just put equation 1 here. 3x plus 2y is equal to 5, and equation 2, to get it to be 3x, we've got to multiply the whole equation by 3. So that would give that 3x minus 3y times 3 is minus 9y. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, and now we either need to add or take away these equations to get rid of the x's, because if you've got a 3x and a 3x, if I do minus those, I have no x's, which means that we don't have two unknowns in our equation, we'd only have one, which is what we want. So in this case, it is a minus. Sometimes there'll be a plus, but you've just got to figure out, okay, 3 minus 3 gives me no x's, and that's what I want. So 3 minus 3, so that's no x, so we don't have to put a value down here. 2y minus 9y is 2y plus 9y, which means that that's 11y. And over here, we've got 5 minus 27. So obviously you can chuck that into your calculator if you're not comfortable with doing mental maths like that, but that'll give you minus 22. So you can just take the equations away from each other in that case, and now we have just y's and numbers, which means we can solve that just as we do with any algebraic equation. So we want to get y by itself. So if we're multiplying by 11 over here, then we divide by 11 over here. So minus 22 divided by 11, which means that y is equal to minus 2. I always put a box around my answer just so I can see where it is clearly in my working out and maybe go and put it in somewhere else later on if there's a space for it at the bottom of the page. Okay, now we've got a y value, so we just put that back into one of our equations to find the x value. So I'm going to choose equation 2 just because x is simpler than 3x, but you can do whichever equation you want. So x minus 3y equals 9. We know y is equal to minus 2, so x minus 3 times minus 2 equals 9. Minus 3 times minus 2 gives plus 6. And as we know, if we're adding here, then we've got to subtract on the other side because we always do the opposite when bringing it over. And 9 minus 6 gives us 3. So now we've got our two answers. X equals 3 and y equals minus 2. You can always put them back into your equations to double check them. Obviously, if you're getting the wrong answer out, then you know you've got to go and redo your question. It's super easy. You just, so 3x would be 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 2 times minus 2. That means it's minus 4. So 9 minus 4 does give us 5. Perfect. And then you check the other equation. But yeah, it's as simple as that. As long as you follow those, that method, you should have no bother. So thank you for listening, and I hope this helped. Bye.